Welcome to my BCM 215 beta presentation. To give you some context into my digital artifact, my topic was the relationship between violence and video games, and I primarily wanted to focus on why mass shootings are always linked to violent video game play. So the format I wanted to use for my digital artifact was a series of blog posts. So since my project pitch, I have written and published 3 blog posts towards my digital artifact. The first one being the history of moral panics and video games. So, in this, I gave some context as to where this issue started. I talk about the demonic panic and how the game Dungeons and Dragons relates to this. In my second blog post, I related it to the issues we are facing now. So that includes mass shootings and how Donald Trump is blaming violent video games for these mass shootings occurring. I also talked a little bit about Walmart and some other shops in America that have pulled the advertising and the distribution of violent video games from their stores. In the last blog post, I was kind of unsure of where to go with it, but I decided to do a future look at where we are headed if we continue using violent video games as a scapegoat for violence. Instead, I think we need to be pointing our direction into mental health care and looking at the gun laws in America and why this is actually occurring. For my project pitch, I gained a lot of feedback from my peers and our tutor. So, some of that was additional sources that I could use towards my research. This was obviously super helpful as it gave me kind of a foundation of where to start my research, and from there, I built upon that. I was also told that I needed to have a clearer timeline for when I was going to write and publish my blog post during the semester. This was fair feedback as I really had no idea of when I was even going to write or post anything. However, since the project pitch, anytime I've had some spare time, I've kind of sat, done some research, done some writing, and for during that time I ended up actually writing my blog post in a couple of days. So even though I wrote them in a couple of days, I didn't publish them. I kind of went back, I checked if I liked them, refined them, did some additional research, added bits here and there, and I ended up publishing them a few weeks apart from each other. When it came to feedback, I ended up posting on Twitter anytime that I posted my blog post. So here's an example. I used the subject hashtag and I used any relevant hashtags. I did gain a little bit of feedback from this. I got a few likes, I got some retweets. My views on the tweet were pretty alright, and I did notice in my analytics that people were visiting my blog page from Twitter. This is just from yesterday, and you can see that people have actually looked at my 3 blog posts, and some of them have come from Twitter. I also uploaded to Reddit. I didn't find this very successful as self-promotion is obviously not really allowed on Reddit. I ended up posting 2 times. One time I got it removed, as you can see here. The first time I got an upvote, I didn't find it very successful though. I also made a poll on Twitter because I wanted to see if I could generate some discussion about my digital artifact topic. So this was the poll that I did, and it just says, do you think games are the cause of people's violence? So it was up for about 2 days. I got 24 votes and I got heaps of comments. These were from people from the BCM subject, but they were also other BCM students, and I did get some random people such as down here, who kind of just found this tweet probably from the gaming hashtag and decided to reply. Before I submit, I want to try other ways to gain some feedback for my digital artifacts. So I'm going to be posting on Reddit again. Instead, I'm going to just post a general question about my topic to see if I can generate discussion like I did on Twitter. And if that doesn't work, I'm going to try another poll on Twitter to see if I can generate some more discussion. If you have any comments, please let me know in the blog post. Thank you for listening.